Do you want to know how to spot the latest trends and niches in KDP? Well, then this is the show for you. Hey, everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I just wanted to get you thinking outside the box and learn different ways to spot trends, tell you about a niche that I've seen, and a course that can help you with that. But I really wanted to kind of teach you something about using Google Trends and everything to like spot niches. Because yes, you use Amazon and it's great to use Amazon, but sometimes that's very limiting. So I like to think outside the box. So what I've done is I actually just typed into Google trends, or I think it was purchase trends for 2024, summer of 2024, because we're coming up on summer, so summer books. And so I got a list of like 100 things. And so it's fun to look through these and see what can you make into a book, right? And as I scrolled through these, I kind of got some trends. Some of it is minimalist design, outdoors, connecting with nature, dirt or e-bikes is kind of some of the things that they've seen. So that's kind of that outdoors. Tools, function. Oh, there was one here. There was outdoors that was talking about Sasquatch hunting. Where was that? It was really great. I was like, Sasquatch hunting. Oh, here it is. I think it's military-inspired off-road trailer camping for Sasquatch expeditions. I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently it's a trend. Who knew? So it's kind of fun to go through and look at stuff like this. Like, what can you make a book out of? How can you serve these niches, right? You'll see a lot of these as pocket knives for some reason, but you can get trends, pop-ups, outdoors, waterproof shoes, Sasquatch expeditions. Anyway, but a lot of it too was when I was looking on the fashion side of it, minimalistic versions of 80s, 90s, and the 70s, 80s, and 90s, or modern versions of 70s, 80s, 90s. So those are kind of trending things. And so I was kind of looking at that. One of the things I did is I actually looked at outdoor activities on Google Trends. Now, if you haven't used Google Trends, it is a really great way to kind of see seasonal stuff or see how things are trending. 100% is like the most interest in this particular one, and it tells you can look and see how that works. But like 0 is like no interest, and 100% is like the most interest it's seen over this time period. This is over quite a few years. You can see 2004 to current day. But I did outdoor trends, and it's not all that shocking that in the winter months you have a spike, and then obviously it goes lower, not in winter months. But you can see there's always an interest in outdoor activities, but they definitely spike. So this is going to be trending up here again in May, and June, July, you're going to start having different spikes of outdoor activities. And we've already kind of seen here that outdoor activities are something that is of interest. So you can look at different sorts of trends. And so I was kind of looking on Amazon bestsellers, and I was going through I was looking at coloring books in particular, but I was looking at, this kind of reminds me right here, this watercolor, it reminds me of that 70s minimalistic vibe. Something I've noticed too that has been selling for me in different areas is that boho look. I do a lot of boho patterns and boho designs and boho seamless patterns, and they do tend to sell for me. So that's kind of, this is number 23. It's selling, it's a watercolor book, 1,489 in the store. But that got me thinking, like, what are people looking for? Here's mindful patterns, right? Bible coloring is always sorts of things, but it got me thinking about different things you can do. And so one of my friends is doing a course in boho minimalism. So I started looking up that, because that does give me that vibe of what is, like I said, I have a lot of boho patterns that sell. I've actually made this pattern for my church for something that it's a very similar style to this, with the leaves and the colors. Boho is definitely really big. So boho minimalism, right? And there's coloring books, and they're selling really well. You can see there's quite a few, and there's different ones you can do. Look in all the different types of coloring books. There's definitely just the basics. We were talking about bold and easy last week. There's bold and easy minimalistic boho, right? There's minimalistic boho reverse coloring. There's a ton of different types of things you can do with this. I actually went and looked up on Google Trends because I wanted to show you that, like, boho was kind of down here, right? It has been trending up. The other thing I noticed is, yeah, in the summer months, boho starts to trend more. And as you can see, it's starting up and it's going to trend more. What was interesting, if you go down here, you can also see on Google Trends, like, areas that these are the most interested in that, which is kind of interesting. I was looking at boho design, and that tended to be in the Southwest region was really popular. Apparently just boho in general, West Virginia, Tennessee. So it's kind of moving this direction, though Utah, that's definitely the Southwest. But other things, what's fun is you can go down here and look at related. Boho fashion has been really big. Like I said, the 70s, 80s, modern version of fashion, minimalistic and things like that has been a popular trend this year. And so boho dress, boho wedding. I was even thinking you could do, like, boho dress coloring book. Like, think about, like, those flowy, pretty skirts and dresses, or the pretty hair, through hair down, sandals. It's fun, I think, to think of that kind of thing for a coloring book. Boho decor, there is so many things you can do, but you can see this is trending up for the summer, so I think it's a great thing to get into. So I did want to tell you about my friend's challenge next week, the boho challenge. She's doing 5 days to publish a boho minimalistic coloring book, and you say it's a pretty hot trend. I'm actually doing this course and going through the challenge with her. There's a few add-ons. There's the AI prompts. If you are into AI prompts, it's for DALL-E and Midjourney. So if Midjourney is a little bit too complex to you, DALL-E is another option for that. This is only $17, this challenge, and it can get you a book in 7 days. And it is books that is trending for the summer. That's why I did kind of this analysis on trends. And I really was kind of interested to see that during the summer months that the interest in boho went up, which kind of makes sense when I think about it. It's that warm feeling, the lay in the beach, the sandals. That's kind of what, I don't know, boho feels to me, just kind of let loose, that bohemian feeling, right? So I think this boho challenge is a great thing if you want to do this. It starts next week, May 13th through the 17th. I'll have a link in the show notes, so you can definitely do that. $17. There is some great additional ways. One of my friends she has done the 20 ways to repurpose your boho art, and there's some really good ideas in here. Like, there's just some really fun things that you can take once you've made this art and use it in different ways, maybe ways you hadn't really thought of. And so it's fun to take something and not only create it, but create it and reuse it in multi-purpose ways, so that something that you create can be, 10 products for you instead of just one. And I think those are really good things to think about. So I welcome you all to the challenge, but I want you guys to start thinking about how can you think outside the box of creating your type of books, your trends, things that are becoming popular. How can you think just beyond looking through KDP? This is definitely good to have a topic in mind and search and see what's selling. And those are good ways to do it. But sometimes you get stuck in the same rut and you can't see the bigger ecosystem. So it's really great to use Google and just ask it for lists of things. Use ChatGPT and ask it for lists. All the lists are things to jog your brain and help you think, right? Use your brain. And then look at trends. Look at Google's trends and see, when is this popular? Is this thing becoming more popular, less popular? Sometimes it doesn't have all the data, especially if it's a newer topic. I was looking up, like, boho minimalistic coloring books, and Google's like, we don't have enough data yet to give you anything. And that doesn't mean it's not trending. It just means that Google doesn't have enough data on that particularly yet, especially if it's something new and emerging. But you can look at the bigger topics. Boho coloring books, minimalistic coloring books didn't have anything, but boho did. So definitely use Google Trends. Use Google to think outside the box to come up with ideas, and then go into Amazon, check it out, see what things you see that of those trends that maybe you can work off of, or and then once you can narrow it down, look and see how are those types of books doing. They're doing really well. You're getting consistent sales, and I think if you kind of think that way, it's a really fun way to look at Amazon to say, what can I create and offer to the marketplace that is a little bit different, that is trending. So I hope this was really helpful for you. Please join Michelle in the challenge. I will be in it as well next week. So I'll be excited to have you there. And there's a link for that in the show notes. And I will see you all next week.